Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Yamato. Or Yamato. Depends on which way you want to say it. I say Yamato, you say Yamato. Doesn't really matter either way. We are going to have some fun in this one. Alright? So, I don't know, it's just been one of those days I kind of wanted to get back into a battleship, have some fun. Been running with Aaron and Peak in my Shima a lot. Or in other destroyers like Udachi. So been itching to get my fingers back into a battleship. So I brought out my Yamato, and I decided to change some things. So one of the things that I changed on my build was reducing the concealment from, what was it, 15.8 down to 13.8, I think? And I did this by using the concealment system mod in slot 3 of your equipment instead of the guaranteed acquisition. And the reason I do that is because this moment right here at the beginning of the match. This is it. This is the only time that this is particularly beneficial to me at the moment. Now, I'm sure in future it'll be a little bit helpful in other situations as well. But right now, this is the biggest thing. Getting the ability to turn and not be detected immediately in the match is a huge benefit to every battleship, let alone a Yamato. So, right off the bat, we get our turn in, we're getting full steam ahead, and we get early spots, not us, but other people have spotted the enemy battleships out there, and they are all broadside on. This is the moment that you dream about, but you rarely get in a Yami or a Gross Occurfers. And that first Iowa got touched, and then my shells arrive, and they're a little bit behind and a little high because he turned in. But still a solid hit. Jean-Bart gets a shot at us, but we're going to go dark before he even gets a chance to shoot at us again. So that's a good news. And then we're going to go ahead, aim. Looks like he's potentially thinking about turning here, so we don't bother taking the shot. Now, we've got a Yami on the right. We've got a Alaska out there on the left. And this is where you need to start paying attention to the map. And this goes for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a battleship, a destroyer, or whatever. When you have moments like these, you look at the map because you can find these crossfires, like this Iowa, who has no idea I even exist. And look at that gorgeous dispersion. It's almost solely horizontal, which means this is going to be a paddling. Wasn't a huge hit, but took a half of his hit points. 3 penetrations, 1 citadel, 1 overpin. Absolutely nasty. And then we see the Z-23, and we're about to have the guns loaded again. So we're going to try to hit the Z-23. Anytime you get a chance to shoot at a destroyer battleships, you should be helping shoot them. It's pretty straightforward. If you want to survive, I don't want to hear you complaining about the destroyers kicking your butt if you're not bothering to shoot at them when you get an opportunity. Okay? Destroyers are only overpowered when you allow them to be. So keep that in mind. Now, right now, we've got a cluster of ships out here. We've got a Lenin, we've got a Jean-Bart, and a Cleveland. And the Cleveland has just decided to start going in reverse. And so we're going to take the opportunity to take that shot. We've got the shot on the way, and wait for it. Pow! Dropping the hammer for him as well. 3 overpins, 1 citadel, taking him down to literally no health. This man is pretty much dead. One more hit from anything, he's a dead man. And, sure enough, Ochakov is able to take him down. Which is huge. Getting rid of a Cleveland like that is massive in a game. That is their fire starter. That is the one thing that they had that was a fire starter. And so getting rid of him was absolutely massive. Now, we get 3 ricochets off the side armor of the Lenin, just showcasing how tough the Lenin can be if it's angled well. I thought that I had enough to go through him. I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. Now, I started reversing here to make sure that I'm more bow in. We already touched Iowa to my left, and he's my main threat right now as far as who has the most compromising shots at me, right? So this is the things that I'm thinking about in the course of a battle. So I want to limit the opportunities that potentially arise for him. And I'm looking over to tell the team to capture Charlie because they have 4 ships over there. There's no reason they can't push forward as a team and take that base. I don't care if there's a destroyer over there and you are only battleships. You still have 4 battleships versus 1 destroyer. That destroyer can't kill all of you. Now, Iowa here thinks that this is a good idea, and honestly, yeah, that's not going to go well. Down he goes. 2 Citadels, down he goes. We're up to 91,000 damage with 4 Citadels in this match so far. But we ain't done yet, guys. We ain't done by a long shot. Now, we got very, very lucky in this one that we had an advantage in terms of firepower. They may have had 2 destroyers to our 1, but when it comes down to raw firepower, if a Yami can be sitting out here basically unchallenged, you're going to have a rough day as a team. You have 2 destroyers. One of them needs to try to do something about the Yamato. Because they don't, because the Z-23 sits back for so long, he can't push me. He's got an Ochakov right next to me. So he's sitting back. He's now decided he wants to charge in and get across the bow, and I'm going to go ahead and use my spotter plane, take the shot, and this is just nasty. Boom! And of course, in true Spartan fashion, we leave him with just enough to get away. Which is unfortunate. Now, I'm marking him to be shot. I'm hoping that the Alaska on my right is paying attention so that he can finish off that Z-23. And after all, the Z-23 is heading in his direction. I'd hate to see our Alaska die to him. Z-23 goes down to the Alaska, which is fantastic. We get an absolutely juicy salvo of armor piercing away, and that was a surprising Citadel. I went right through his bow armor and Citadeled him, even though he was slightly angled. If you remember correctly, the Lenin's bow is very strong, but at the same time, it's still not as good as being able to not be overmatched by the Yami's guns. So if I get a good, solid overmatch, I can penetrate that bow armor and go straight into the Citadel, and that's exactly what happened there. But he survives for now. Now, of course, and I fire my guns again, and that's when the Alaska gets spotted again. There are 4 ships left. 1 Iowa all the way on the other side of the map. Alaska, Jean Bart, and Lenin directly off my bow. So Alaska's coming in. He's angled way too much. He's never going to be able to avoid this. And so we get an absolutely another just fantastic salvo of armor piercing and just wreck him. 30,000 damage salvo without even hitting a Citadel. And that gives us our high caliber and a Confederate. Showcasing that, yes, while I was sitting back initially, I have actually done quite a bit to help the team. Confederate means you've hit at least 6 out of the enemy ships, and you've taken, I think, a quarter of their health or more. So, yeah, we've definitely done our part. Now, this was a poorly aimed shot. I didn't think he was reversing as fast as he was, so I didn't lead him enough. But that was just a bad shot by me. But it doesn't matter, because I'm going to make up for it in the next one. Because the closer I get, the less likely I am to miss these shots. And, Lenin, you don't have a chance at this point. You're about to have a real bad time. Wait for it, and shot out. Oh, that's gorgeous. Pow! Right through the nose. All the shells hit. Even though it says I only got 4 hits, that's all I needed to kill him. The other 2 hit him as well. That was gorgeous dispersion. You can't argue with that. The dispersion that I had in this match was actually disgusting at times. So can't really argue with it. I'm going to push up and around the corner. And the whole point of this play that I'm about to make is hoping that that Jean Bart does not charge straight at my team. Okay? At this point, I've got 160,000 damage, 2 kills. I've got a base cap. I've got all the things, 5 Citadels, 44 pins, all the thing. But I really want more. You know how I love to get those 200k games, and this guy has all the health necessary to do that. So, at this point, I am salivating. I'm like, God, please let this guy start reversing. Please let him not just charge out around the corner into my team and die while I can still potentially wreck him. Because if he doesn't, I'm going to have a really nasty shot in about 20 seconds. So hopefully you guys are ready, because he does in fact start reversing. He does exactly what I was hoping he would do, and that is get bow in on my team and start reversing. And watch this shot. He was not ready for this at all. Wait for it. Shot out. Come on. There it is. And pow! 2 more Citadels. All his health gone. He's lucky to be alive. I don't know how he survived that, because I guess we know exactly how he survived that. In true Spartan fashion, I have to leave everybody with just enough to get away. But unfortunately, Or fortunately, we did enough. We got him at 220,000 damage, just as close as you can get to 220,000 damage anyway. So a pretty solid game overall, a fun one, lots of citadels, lots of huge hits in this one. Thought you guys would enjoy. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.